I was called in myself by the bishop when I was a member, accused of doing witchcraft in my ward.
My impression is that within Mormonism, this ability to heal has been claimed so much by the priesthood, i.e. by the men alone, and women cannot have the priesthood, that this has perhaps in some way led women who I think by nature are very nurturing,
yes,
and would like to heal and have access to supernatural powers as much as men do. I think that's a fair way to say it. And that this is natural for them to want to try and find a way to exercise these gifts in ways that don't conflict with the church that they believe in. So they're not claiming to do priesthood blessings. They're healing in alternate ways. And now the church, which has sort of put them in this position, now comes out in the handbook and cuts them off. It doesn't give a caution, like you said. It doesn't give a caution. It just says, you can't do this. And anything beyond prayer or proper priesthood blessings, properly performed, are a kanwa, which is what we'd say in Japan. And it means kind of what it sounds like. A kanwa. You can't do it. It's absolutely forbidden.
Okay.
And is that your impression? Both white women in the Mormon church are many of them are starting to do this, and now how the church is reacting to preserve its patriarchy and priesthood monopoly, really.
I would agree with that. I don't know. I think it's just a lack of education and knowledge about what's coming forward and about some of these modalities. And I think what troubles me most is that I see a lot of these women developing legitimate skills and then they're shut down. And when you are in the process of doing what your passion is and what you're good at, and you get shut down, it starts to create depression, and they get discouraged. They try to reroute when they feel like they've really been led to a healing modality that is effective. And so many of them will come and say, my stake president shut me down. He says I was practicing priestcraft and witchcraft. I was called in myself by the bishop when I was a member, accused of doing witchcraft in my ward and helping ward members. And so, I can see why a bishop would be concerned that, oh no, she's doing things that we aren't familiar with in the ward. And it's my responsibility as the bishop to be able to make sure that everything is legitimate in the ward. But instead of learning about what it is I do, they just shut it down. It's just a lack of knowledge and a lack of education. And because the fields don't have the regulations, I think that's a problem too.